GLAC Index generates substantive information to identify social determinants that impact the general security conditions of a nation or entity under study. Through a mathematical algorithm which integrates more than 900 indicators and records their impact on society through thematic factors, GLAC Index scale is built. The scale indicates the ideal conditions of security with welfare and the most significant weakness and vulnerable circumstances. For the scale analysis, the system identifies 7 levels represented by a color gradient that goes from green to red. The levels are: security with welfare, security with social stability, moderate security and social risks, limited security and social risks, limited insecurity and social risks, insecurity and social instability, institutional crisis, and ungovernability. The system works on different measurement levels: international, national, and local. It relates the color of each entity to the security with welfare level according to the GLAC Index scale. It registers the performance of GLAC Index level over time. The magnitude in the GLAC Index scale is the result of variables calculation in the social political sector that considers issues of education, health, and government. Security justice sector that includes police, judges, and armed forces, and the financial economic sector in matters of fiscal policy, economic growth, and investment. The GLAC Index ranking places in the top positions those entities whose level of security with welfare is higher. In the bottom places, entities that present the most vulnerable circumstances. For the GLAC Index analysis, the ranking by sector is created by the corresponding variables calculation and identifies each entity performance from the sector's perspective. The record of measurement by sector shows the performance of the entity under study, with the analysis of the ranking in each sector, position change, value of GLAC Index by sector, increase or decrease in each sector's magnitude regarding the previous week, as well as the GLAC Index value. The three-dimensional representation of GLAC Index for each entity is determined by axis X, indicator's magnitude of the social-political sector; axis Y, indicator's magnitude of the justice security sector; axis Z, indicator's magnitude of the economic financial sector. The system identifies the strength or weakness of each sector of the entity under study. The trend graph of an entity shows the performance of GLAC Index in the last week, its development throughout the year, historical highs and lows, and identifies the security with welfare degree by sector each week. For GLAC Index thematic study, the system shows the comparative graph between the entity indicators and the local, national, or international average. Vertical colored bars represent the indicators: yellow for social political sector, green for financial economic, blue for justice security. The red color represents the gap between the reference and studied indicator. To build these indicators, the system processes data from international, national, academic, and social organizations, as well as private sources. They constitute the measurement basis for GLAC Index. The system identifies one or more indicators through its thematic and sectorial classification. The information that composes each sector has a historical record of more than 15 years. The system analyzes the historical performance of variables that integrate the indicator, records the performance, trend over time, and their impact on the indicator. The indicator ranking graph shows the position of the entity under study. The ranking can be local, national, or international. The correlation shows the association level of the indicator variables. It ranges from 0 to 1. Factors measure the indicator's impact on society, use big data techniques, logistic regression models, and ponder the GLAC Index algorithm. They are calculated through digital media, social networks, and surveys. Factor graphs identify the quantity of mentions and the highest and lowest points of interaction in digital media related to each of the topics analyzed by GLAC Index. Mentions are classified according to the subjects that integrate the GLAC Index. The system displays the content, source, and associated sentiment. The mentions impact is calculated with artificial intelligence techniques based on the analysis of historical performance in digital media of the subjects under study. The system generates 3 documents: GLAC Index Weekly Report, GLAC Index Monthly Report, Analysis of Indicators and Factors. These documents determine the security with welfare conditions of an entity through calculations and information processed by GLAC Index. GLAC, Solutions in Security, Technology, and Risk Management.